So, guys, welcome back, and let's continue with the next part. So, it is a second class, guys. I believe second class of second class of Jenkins, and the first class, guys, I was talking about some basic concept of some basic concept of one minute, guys, please. So, yeah. So the first class I was talking basics concept about CI CD and where in Jenkins fit. Okay, but technically, what exact meaning of CI CD is not yet completely done. Okay, and what is actually DevOps? Very high level. I have explained you about the infinity cycle of DevOps, how the thing flow, but what exactly uh, the way the DevOps work in the real world, practically that was not actually yet discussed, and what is Agile also is not discussed. So give me, guys, some days, maybe 4 or 5 days. So by the end of the 4 or 5 days, you will actually come to know the exact meaning of CI/CD. D maybe deployment, or D maybe delivery. Okay, or what exact meaning of Agile, or what exact meaning of pipeline, build pipeline, Jenkins pipeline, delivery pipelines, and maybe Agile. Okay, so give me some days. I won't like to quickly jump to the practicals or the hands-on, because I want to, guys, first make you comfortable with the Jenkins terminology. Okay, and some of the concept purely on Jenkins, and we'll do lots of practical here, and every practical will slowly leads you to auto understand what exactly and where integration work, and where we need a deployment or delivery and XYZ. Okay, and then if I explain you the final pipeline, okay, then you will very quickly relate and understand that is actually use and power of pipeline. Okay, so let me start, guys, with Jenkins. So I'm starting from here. So first of all, guys, Jenkins is a tool or a software, you guys know. Okay, and and if you want to install Jenkins, you need some operating system. The good thing about Jenkins is Jenkins is a software that is built purely on Java, and almost every OS support Java. So if you can install and run Jenkins in any of the OS, Mac or Windows or Linux. Okay, but only thing is your OS need Java, or OS need JDK, Java Development Kit. Okay, that's what the minimum need in your OS. So my plan is to use Red Hat Linux, okay, version 8, and I also want, guys, use the same Linux. Otherwise, technically, Jenkins look and feel perspective, use perspective, whatever the OS you use, it would be exactly the same, but there will be some interesting practical that will show you the entire flow. Okay, and lots of practicals I will show you that integrate Jenkins with cloud or Docker or maybe XYZ tool, maybe Kubernetes in the future classes. So most of the practicals I will show you due to some reason on Red Hat. So if you uh, do this practical with me on the base OS Red Hat, so you can very easily sync with me in my future advanced practicals. Okay, and for Reddit, guys, you need you need ISO file. I think we have already shared this ISO file. So my base system right now is Windows. Okay, and on the top of Windows, I'm going to install Red Hat 8. So I'm using Oracle VirtualBox. It is one of the virtualization tool. And on the top of this, I'm going to install this OS. So this will be our virtual machine. So I believe, guys, everybody know VirtualBox. And I also do believe that you guys are very much comfortable in installing the OS. But I'm doing very quickly to just give you the flow, the way we install. Okay, but I believe you guys know, so this part I'm doing a little bit very quicker. Okay, one more thing, guys, I have one folder created for you. This folder I will share with you. Okay, in this folder we keep on putting all the document per day basis. So all the diagram, all the command, all the setup I keep on sharing per day basis, so you can use this document for the future reference. This one thing, same folder or drive also have a software folder. Okay, and guys, here I put Jenkins software that support on Red Hat version 8 and Java software that's called JDK, and this is the Oracle JDK version 8 that support Jenkins for us. So you can download the software from here, or it's free software you can download from internet also. Okay, so that's what we have here. Okay, so so very quickly, guys, I'm installing Reddit. It won't. I'm not taking much time because I believe you guys know. So very quickly we install and then we'll move to our main part. Okay. For in my case, guys, I'm giving 819 to 8 GB RAM, but if you give 2 GB RAM also, that will be enough, right? But in my case, I'm giving 8 GB RAM. Next, create next, next. In my case, I'm giving 100 GB hard disk, but if you give 10-20 GB hard disk also, that might be enough. Okay. So this is the OS VM created. I'm attaching my ISO file, and this ISO file, guys, we have already shared with you. Click on empty, attach your Red Hat 8 ISO file, and that's all. Okay, so pretty straightforward. And I have, guys, already shared the link of my YouTube channel where I explain you how to install the OS. So you guys might have go through the lecture if you don't know how to install. But I'm installing right now because I also need one new OS, and this OS, guys, will keep for the future practical. So it might take 5 or 10 minutes to install this OS. Okay. By the meantime, I will explain you some more concept that we need in today's class. Okay. So let me start from here. So what I explained you guys in my last class, very quickly, one small explanation I'm again want to give you because this is the exact practical we are going to do today. Okay, let's say we have a developer and developer write a code in a file. Okay, and let's say they write a code in a language, and let's say this language is called one kind of scripting language. Maybe PowerShell, Bash Shell, Python, Perl. But let's say they write a script in a language called Bash. It's a one scripting language. Bash Shell is scripting. So they write a code. Okay, and it is very common practice after they write the code, they always upload the code in some kind of SM tool, like say GitHub, in some of the folder that's called repository there. Okay, then what I want somebody that keep on monitoring and some program that keep on monitoring that something come in GitHub. If something come up or new code come up or new data come up, this program will automatically download this code. And after they download this code, what they want to do with this code, again, language to language thing vary. Okay, if your code is written in bash shell scripting, so normally this kind of code normally we always run and execute. But if you code written in Java, so normally first we compile the code. Okay, so depend upon language to language. So I'll tell this program, first thing you go here, check, do you have any new code come up? If yes, download the code. After download the code, wherever you download, I won't go and execute this code. Why I want to execute? Because this is a code, I want to run it. I want to see the output of this code. Very simple uh, concept, but this concept is the first base concept, and this concept will use to understand some of the vocabulary of Jenkins. And after we become comfortable with Jenkins concepts and vocabulary, we start creating something advanced practicals. Okay, but so guys, this is what exactly I'm going to set up here. But if you see here, guys, here we don't have any human being. Obviously developer we have, otherwise after developer upload the code or push the code in the GitHub, okay, I want this program will do everything automatically. Okay, so this program is the one who will do automation for us. And in our case, guys, this program would be our Jenkins program or Jenkins tool. Okay, Jenkins tool. So that's what, guys, we are going to do. So this is my Reddit 8 is going to install. This is just a OS. Okay. And we are going to install Jenkins on the top of this OS. And now it is your choice. You want to install Jenkins in your virtual machine. You want to install Jenkins in your Docker container, in Kubernetes, in AWS cloud. You can install anywhere, wherever you want. Okay. So I'm installing the workstation here that will give me web UI, GUI. Okay. Installing the OS or installation automatically, and I'm changing my time zone by chance. It's not compulsory, but I'm right now in India, so I'm changing this time zone. Otherwise, everything is same and begin installation. So it takes some 5 minutes. By the 5 minutes, I will explain you further concept. I'm giving some of my root account password so that I can log in. So installation is going on now, guys. In this complete this particular example or maybe use case, okay, some terminology you should know. So first thing is if you ask Jenkins, okay, as a core tool, right, just a Jenkins, if you ask Jenkins, do you know what is Git and GitHub, and do you know how to go there and download the something, a code or something, okay, Jenkins say no, I don't know anything about Git or GitHub. Okay, so technically what I'm talking about, by default, as a by default nature of the Jenkins is a very simple tool. They don't do much for you, okay, but this tool has a very high level support. Okay, there's something available in Jenkins through which you can connect Jenkins to anything. Okay, for example, if you ask Jenkins, do you know how to connect to GitHub, they say I don't, but we can enable this support and tell them again, now I'm enabling the support on you. Now you will know how, what is GitHub, and how you know how to connect to GitHub and download something from there. Now, that is called plugins. Okay, so Jenkins by default don't do much thing for you. Okay, but whatever you want to do further with the Jenkins, that is called integration. Because Jenkins is one of the integration tool. Okay, so here I want Jenkins will go and integrate with third party tool, let's say GitHub, okay, or maybe Docker, or maybe Kubernetes or cloud, or Sonar Cube or testing tool or unit testing or TDD, BDD, whatever you have. Okay, so everything Jenkins can do for you, but for everything we have a plugins. So if you ask Jenkins, please go and install one plugin for GitHub, because I want you can integrate with GitHub so that you can go to GitHub and you can understand what concept GitHub support, and you can understand the language of GitHub. Okay, so in the Jenkins, guys, whatever I want to do with the Jenkins, almost for everything we have the plugin available. Okay, this is one thing. So guys, when I install the Jenkins, this is the first thing they ask you, do you want to install any plugins? Okay, so as and when we require, as we go on further, do lots of practicals with the Jenkins, as and when we require, we keep on integrating the plugins. So plugins is one common thing we use a lot. Second thing in the Jenkins is, whenever you ask Jenkins to do something, okay, for example, I ask Jenkins, my developer upload something here in the GitHub, in some folder, in some URL, go there, download and execute. And what else? I said, that's all. That's the only thing I need. Okay. Or maybe you might have one more need. You ask Jenkins, go to cloud, AWS cloud, and go and launch something there. Okay. So you can tell Jenkins multiple things. But for everything, or for every use case, maybe I can say, we have to tell Jenkins, and that is called job. So we have to create a job in the Jenkins. Okay. For everything, you can create a job. So right now I can say one small word here. Okay, I can say is one small word here, and the word is Jenkins, please go to GitHub, download the code. So guys, understand one thing, there's three things happening. Go to GitHub, download the code, execute the code, and show me the output. Okay, so it's a one continue process is going on. This is not the perfect word to say here. This word has a lot more meaning. So it's one pipeline we are creating. Okay, so when you want to create some pipeline, that multiple steps you want to do one by one by one. So in the Jenkins, you have to create a job for this. Okay, but guys, don't worry, pipeline is a big term, lots of extra things we can do over here. So in my upcoming discussion, when we talk about multiple different pipelines, I will explain. Okay, so because the plan is, Jenkins, if you remember my last class, the plan was okay, I want Jenkins will go to developer, then do building, then do testing, then the deployment, then monitoring, feedbacks. So it's a long pipeline. Slowly we are going to build, but for this and everything in the Jenkins, you have to create a job. So job is a way to tell Jenkins what to do. Okay, and after you tell Jenkins what to do, It's like a step by steps. Okay, so step by step is like a job, and when you double click on the job will start, and whatever you ask, it will do for you. Okay, so if you want to execute the job, so in the Jenkins world, it is called build. Okay, I don't know why they use the word build. Build has a technical different meaning, but if you want to execute any job in the Jenkins, that concept is called build. Build the job. Build the job means run the job. Means whatever steps you have put, just go and run over there. Okay, so that is the meaning of, guys, building in the Jenkins. So this is a very commonly used thing you see. Okay, one more interesting thing in the Jenkins, because uh, very common process you always you see in the Jenkins. Okay, for example, if you talk about this use case, okay, so Jenkins will go to GitHub and download the code. Understand one thing: code is a data we have in the file. And where Jenkins is downloading this code in their program, in their OS, because Jenkins is running in some of the OS, in their OS. Okay, or maybe I can create one more job. The job is doing something else. They have a Java code download from somewhere else, maybe other computers. Okay, and they want to do something else, and this might be run by some other Jenkins engineers, maybe. Okay, so technically what Jenkins do, for every job they give extra space in our computer. So wherever OS you guys are running the Jenkins, okay, Jenkins provide some extra space, typically known as workspace. So every job has their own personal workspace. Workspace. And so whatever data or images and code you download, they keep those in their per job workspace. So 100 job, so every job has their own personal isolated secure workspace. Okay, there's one small thing you will see in the Jenkins. Okay, so I'm just waiting, guys, to have this OS installed. Okay, by the meantime, guys, this OS installed, I have one OS already with me, I believe. Okay, and this OS I already have a Jenkins, so I want to save your time. So this OS is a very new Jenkins already installed. Okay, by the meantime this OS installed, and I explain you how to install the Jenkins. Let directly jump to the practicals. Okay, so in a minute I will explain you how to install it. Installation is so simple, there's nothing special here. But after install, how can you use this? That's what I'm going to show you. Okay, and one more last thing, guys, uh, before I start the actual first practical today. So if you talk about the Jenkins, okay, is a tool. And guys, if you want to work in any tool or any program, okay, so normally, guys, tools give you a way through which you can interact with the tool. So Jenkins, guys, by default provide you web UI. Means they have their own web pages, web app, through which you can integrate with Jenkins. But Jenkins also has CLI. So there are some commands also in the Jenkins through which you can ask Jenkins and you can do whatever you want to do. Okay, and one more interesting thing that Jenkins nowadays have in the newer version. Okay, now you don't need any web UI, you don't need any CLI. Whatever you want to do with the Jenkins, for example, you want to create a job or run the job, okay, or step by steps, right, create a job. Okay, so there's a concept called as code. Okay, typically known as pipeline as code, actually. Or Jenkins a code. So this is a newest way, a better way. Okay, because Jenkins is an automation tool, but you will see, guys, in initial classes, lots of things inside the Jenkins will do manual. But after you become comfortable with Jenkins, then we'll raise this concept and tell, now whatever you're doing in the Jenkins, let's also try to make this thing automatic. And that will help me to actually explain you the end-to-end automation. Okay, this will help you a lot in end-to-end automation over there. But technically what I'm trying to tell you, there's a lot of way you can integrate, you can interact with the Jenkins whatever you want to do it. Initially, guys, obviously I will go go for this way. Pretty simple to use, but slowly we go for CLI, and then we start moving to this part. By chance, it is something like this. Anybody who by chance know AWS cloud, so they have a web UI, they have a CLI, but after you become comfortable with the concepts, then they're also, we can do everything as a code. This called infrastructure as code, cloud formation, we have a service there, something like this. Anybody who by chance know. So it is something like this we can do in the Jenkins world. Okay, so this is one OS I have. Okay, and today only, guys, I have installed in Jenkins here. Okay, so the new Jenkins, nothing much you will see here. So in this computer, I have already installed Java. I have already installed Jenkins, the same software I have installed here, whatever I've shared with you. Okay, and because Jenkins is a tool, you can think Jenkins also like a server. So you can sometimes also, it is known as Jenkins server. Okay, and because it's server, you have to start services, and because this is Red Hat version 8, and in the Red Hat version 8, if you want to start a services, one minute. Okay, so if you want to start services, then the command is called systemctl start or restart Jenkins. That's all. So Jenkins service start, there is no error come up. Okay, guys, before this, you just install it. How to install, I will show you in a minute. But finally, if you see, is the status command, and it shows there is no error, and Jenkins is active and running, and it is an automation server. So let me use Q to quit. So finally, Jenkins is working over here. Okay, and understand one thing is, normally every server is working on port number, because Jenkins provides web UI. So you can integrate, connect Jenkins via HTTP protocol, and the server is by default working on port number 8080. You can change it whatever you want, but this is the by default setup they have. And if you very quickly want to check, if you know basic command of Linux, this called netset have a DNLP. Okay, and you search for Java, not Jenkins, because Jenkins work on the top of Java. Okay, what you see, some Java program here, in my case Jenkins started port number 88. Okay, so technically Jenkins is working in my computer. Okay, and because Jenkins running in my OS, if you want to connect to Jenkins, you need to know your OS IP. So IP of my OS, this is my network card name. My network is down. 1 minute. Let me connect my network. Okay, so if you want to connect to Jenkins, you should require your computer IP address. Okay, so one more, guys, it's taking some time. Why? Because there's some lot of network changes I have done here. So I don't know how it was connected initially. Okay, 1 minute. He's not getting. So to make it a little bit faster, it failed. Okay, so what I'm doing, you don't have to do, in my case it might be because I'm doing some testing here for different thing. So I just changing to my net. Okay, now it come quicker. So this IP come up. So if you want to connect, so obviously you can use your browser. I'll go to Firefox, and in this IP I will connect to my Jenkins. Okay, so my IP is 10.2.5. Okay, this one, colon 88. So this is the URL you have to connect to the Jenkins. Okay, so after guys install the Jenkins, this is the first screen come up. Initially you have to set a password. How to set, I'll show you, right? But right now I already set my username admin and some password. Okay, and I'm logging, and this is first time, not first time, this system I already log in. Okay, But this is the web UI and login page. And after login, the thing that you will see would look something like this. Okay, so like this, and this is the first page, and this is called dashboard here. In my case, guys, I already created uh, some job here. In your case, you won't see, but let me very quickly delete so it will be clean. Okay, so I will explain guys in a minute, slow one by one. Okay, so when you see come in the Jenkins first time, this your home page or first page look like, and they are very clear. They say if you want to do something in the Jenkins, you have to create a job. So I will show you a lot of advanced thing in the future to build a distributed build, agent, cloud, slave, master, lots of things we are going to do in the future as we need arise. Okay, but they're asking you to create the job. Okay, and guys, by chance, job is also known as item. So either you can use the word item or you can use the word job. It is the same thing. Okay, so let's guys go and create the job. And I'm going to create a very small job here. Okay, click on create job. You can give a job, let's say my job one. Okay, and and right now you have to select a job called freestyle, and you can also use one more word here. Okay, one more word here. Either you can use the word job, or you can use the word item, or you can use the word project. Because by final motto of job is to to do automation in some of the project. Okay, for example, this is one of the project that I want. Then can go to GitHub, download things, and run my code. So this is again one of the project, right? So by default, they always use the word freestyle project, but there are a lot of different kind of projects we have. It's not visible here because we don't have a plugin for those. So as we require, we will install. Okay, so I click on freestyle project, and then okay screen come up. Okay, and click next. Okay, now what to do next? They're asking you what you would like to do here. Okay, so right now I'm just creating very small thing. I'm asking this job to do very small thing. I'm going down, and asking this job to do only one small thing. That is, whenever we run you, execute you, just go to your OS wherever you are. Right now you are on Red Hat version 8, so go to your OS and ask them to run that date command. One of the simplest thing we are doing. But important thing to be noticed here is whenever you run the job and asking your job to run some command, okay, or to run some program, okay, or to use any resource, they always use a resource from your OS wherever they are running. Means wherever the Jenkins are running. Resource means resource means maybe RAM or CPU or hard disk XYZ. Okay, just keep this thing in mind. Why is important? Because that will lead us in the future classes to go for distributed Jenkins setup. Okay, maybe we have a limited resources. Maybe whatever command we need, we don't have in my base Jenkins, but this command or that program might be available in different computer. So that computer we can put in our cluster and to do something there. So what I mean by this, we'll discuss. But right now, just keep one thing in mind, that whenever you run the job, and in the job, what are your job do, right? Run any program, command, or use any resources. They use resources of your base OS wherever Jenkins is running. Right now we're running in this OS Red Hat 8, so they will use Red Hat 8 resources. Okay, and now I'm telling this job to do one thing, to run the command. And for this, in the build, there's an option called execute shell. Because guys, in the Linux, normally we run the command on the top of shell. I select this option, this command prompt come up, and typing this small thing is called date command. That's all. Nothing special here. Okay, so one of the simplest job we have, and I save. Now, guys, new item, new project, or new job created. Okay, if you see here, there's a new job created with this name, and you are into different page altogether. Like initially you was in dashboard. Every job has their own personal page or dashboard. Okay, and what do you see in the left side? It is purely per project respective things. Okay, and one more thing, guys, if here I told you every job or project has their own personal workspace area. Right now, we don't have to put any data here, images here, code here. But in my next practice, you see right now the workspace is empty. Even it's not yet created because we don't have anything to put here. Okay. But in my next example, you will see something will come up after we run the job. Okay. And this one. So this is the first page. This is called dashboard, and here they show you all the jobs you have created. Normally, we have hundreds and thousands of jobs in the real world, but this is the first job we have. So what I'm doing right now, I'll just go here, and if you see, guys, here NA means this job is not yet run, right? So this is not yet run. So there is no success, there is no meaning of failure, and the duration. Okay. Now you click in the job again, you reach to the page of your job, and let me guys go and run it. But technically in the Jenkins, whenever you run the job, it's called build. So there's an option, guys, called build now. Okay. Before guys do this, let me go to my OS that is installing, so I can show other part also in parallel. So let me reboot this OS. This is other OS where I will show you how to install Jenkins. And after you install the OS, it automatic, you guys, if you don't know the rate, it again automatically start the installation part. So what to do? Close this OS, don't save, power off. Okay, and wherever guys you are installing this OS, do right click, go to settings, and the system part, change your priority of hard disk, make it first, so it won't use your CD-ROM to start. And if you want, just increase your processor. I'm just changing to 2 to give some extra CPU for speed. Okay. And the network part, you don't require, but I'm checking my bridge adapter. I just want to connect to my Windows also. Okay, so you don't have to do anything here, just I'm changing for my region. So this is a new OS I launched this OS so that I can show you how to install Jenkins. But by the meantime, this OS start, let me again go to same OS. Okay, now guys, let me install run this job. Before I run, if you see, guys, there's option called, there's a option here called build history. Means whenever you run their job, and it's very common you have to run the job hundreds and thousands of times maybe, so they give you the entire history over here. Okay, so right now if you click here on the build now your job started. You see in the build history, they show you history number 1, because the first time we are running, they show you the time. Okay, and guys, in the left side, okay, there's one ball here. There's a blue color. It means whatever job you run, they're done and they was successful. Okay, this job run, guys, very quickly. Obviously, because this is a very small job, need command to run. Otherwise, normally job may be of hours and hours, maybe depend upon your project to project. Okay, in this case, you can see this keep on blinking, but right now it's not blinking, means job done. And blue color say your job run successful. Okay, but normally, guys, this job has a date command. Okay, and date command obviously they run, but it is not, output is not visible here, because whenever you run the job and if job giving any output, so if you go to number, there's an option here, drag. If you click, there's an option called console output. And here they show you this job has any output or not. If they fail, what error they have. So everything you can see from here. Okay. And so I click here, and what do you see? I log in as admin, run this job, but in the future, you see other tool will run the job. Maybe GitHub you connect, GitHub will run the job for you. Okay, so right now this is job is run by me, admin user, and I asked to run date command, and it was successful, and this is the output of the date command come up. So everything is very much clean. But if you want to run this job again, why we create the job? Because there's something that you want to do again and again. This is also the use case. For example, I want Jenkins to keep on going to GitHub, download the code, run. Keep on going to GitHub, download the code, run. So if you have something that you want to do again and again, hundreds of steps you have. Again, these kind of use case normally we do with the Jenkins. Okay, so let's say the job is already created. I can build one more time, same thing they do for you. One more build history come up, and what output they have, they show you. Okay, so the pure date commands, obviously same kind of output will gonna come up. Now if you again go to dashboard, now this time you see some difference here. Okay, we don't have failure, there's no time come up, but last success was second one, and this is the last time total consume to run this job. Okay, but let's say try to manually try to delete sorry try to create some error in this job. So if you guys want to change something in the job, there's option called configure. Configure, and here what I'm going to do, I'm trying to give this command name wrong. This command is not exist. Let me save. And obviously guys, some command is not exist, it means if I build it will definitely fail. Okay, but we have one more way to run the job. We can actually run the job from dashboard also. Okay, so last time was second build, but there's option in the last. From here also you can run. But guys, notice one more small thing. It is just a way to visualize the job, because normally hundreds and thousands of jobs we run. So they use this icon. You see this one icon. This is the sun is shining. This icon normally represent here in the Jenkins that all the job that you run. So this job, whatever number you run, if you see 100% time they build, and they're trying to tell you this build is very stable. There is no error happen till date. Hundreds of time you might have run. Okay, but this time when I run this job, and this is the first time you'll see some failure happen. So this job is running behind the scene. They might have run. If I refresh this page, you will see, or maybe I can go inside the job. You can see the third time run, and this is the red color come up. Red ball means the job fail, and you can see the output of this console output. You can say it's fail due to some reason. Command obviously is wrong, is not found. And if you go to dashboard, what do you see? Okay, last fair third job was fail. Rather date count, but it's a long process. By this, you can come to know my job failed. Maybe we don't have a kind of GitHub. Maybe my code wrong. My compile failed. My testing failed. Hundreds of things might be there. So from the console log, you might get the idea of where it failed. But if you have lots of job here, so this screen will very clearly visualize that 66% job fail, and board build is again stable, but out of 3 1 fail, so that's okay. Okay, but here with this icon sun with some cloud, it means something fail, but everything may be good. But if you again and again run one more time, I run this job, let me kill one more time, 3 time I run. Okay, 3 build happen. Okay, and guess here now there's a lot of time failure, they change the icon. Okay, now it says out of 5 4 fail, or 20% we have. So now is a thundering happening. So that's a way Jenkins guys visualize over here, because it catches our mind, our eyes actually, when hundreds of jobs we have, so we can see why the job is failing. Because normally we normally automate the job. Right now I'm running the job manually, but normally we automate the job is called triggers. So we can set something GitHub, something happen there, run it. Okay, so it's happening behind the scene, hundreds of job running. So by looking at this icon, we can very easily see why it's failing. Then we can go inside and try to figure out why this was failing. We can go console output, and we'll try to find out and troubleshoot the things respectively. Okay, this is one thing. So guys, there's some of the vocabulary I'm just trying to explain you, basic practicals obviously, but this practical is very important. So this practical will give you basic idea about some of the terminology of the Jenkins. Okay, one more practical I want to show you today, but understand one thing. It means if you have any idea of any of the commands of Linux, okay, you can go here and put all the commands here. Okay, so I can actually click on build. We can actually reach to that page. Okay, and type all the commands. You know Docker, if you know Ansible, if you know any command that connect to AWS cloud. So what are commands, you know, Kubernetes, you can put all the command here maybe multiple command like delete and cal and ls. Okay, you can put all the command scripts here, and when you save, Jenkins will run for you. Obviously these are basic command, but whatever commands and technology you can put here. So those who know xyz tools and technology, then just go and try this command. Only thing is, this command run uh, by Jenkins run because on the top of my my Red Hat. If Red Hat don't have Docker command, so it will fail. So base system should require that command. Okay, so you have to first install those commands in your base system where Docker is running, then you can run any of the command. Okay, this is one thing. One more thing, guys, before I show you the next picture, how to integrate with GitHub. Okay, to see this little bit bigger flow. Okay, what I'm doing here, I'm using my new OS. Okay, so I can first show you how to install Jenkins. So you have a same Jenkins in your laptop also. Okay, and then then I'll show you further practical. Okay, 1 minute, guys. So why this can again come up? Oh, 1 minute. I think I forgot to sorry, forgot to change the settings. So my first priority is hard disk. Actually, I don't know why I remove hard disk. Okay, first priority is hard disk. Okay, so this is one thing. So by the meantime, guys, again they are booting up. I just doing two things parallel because that was a very basic thing. Okay, now what I'm trying to tell you here is, in the Jenkins, if you want to do anything, for example, if you want, Jenkins will go to GitHub and download the code. By default, guys, Jenkins don't know how to go to GitHub. Okay, for this you have to install some plugins in the Jenkins. Okay, and for everything we have a plugins. So how to install the plugin? Okay, for this you go to first your dashboard. In the dashboard there's option called manage Jenkins. So you want to do any management thing with respect to Jenkins, maybe create a new account, change somebody password, install the plugins, and lots of more things we can do here. So there's option called manage Jenkins. Click here in manage Jenkins, and there's option here if you see manage plugins. Okay, from here you can manage the plugins, means install, update, or remove the plugin. Okay, so if you click on available, behind the scene, guys, they sync with the internet. You should have internet in the system, and all the plugins that is available, maybe for unit testing or pipelines or OS or for your security rules check. Okay, tons of things, LDAP and Gate and almost anything you think in the technological world. Almost every plugins they have like a huge list. Okay, but if you search here, it will come what exactly need. For example, I'm looking for Git later GitHub. Search. Okay, and they show you all the plugins with respect to Git and GitHub. And again, guys, in the GitHub, tons of things we can do here. So a lot of GitHub plugins they show you. So there's guys, no plugin you can see here with the name of Git Hub. Why? Because one GitHub plugin I already installed in this account. So all the plugins that you installed by you will be found here in install section. And guys, here by default this page is normally empty, but this I already installed some plugins here. Okay, and one of the plugins that I was talking about is GitHub plugin. This one. So when you install Jenkins first time, this plugin you will not see. Okay, so to click here and you have to install it. Okay, so it's pretty simple. So just go to available, search GitHub. Okay, click here, and there's option here in the last, install without install and download install. Whatever you select, it will download and install for you. After the install, normally you have to restart the Jenkins. In the last, they give options to restart. I click on the restart and it will restart my Jenkins. So they log out, again you log in, and then you can see your plugin install. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. So normally it takes some time, to download install. So I just want to save your time again. So just go here, install your plugin, because right now my requirement is pretty simple. My requirement is I want my Jenkins will go to GitHub. Okay, so Jenkins by default don't know how to go to GitHub and download something. For this we have to install the plugin. In my case I already installed, so that's the only thing I have to do. Again, let me go to dashboard. So now I'm going to do here, I'm going to create one more job, and now this time the job will be, they will go to GitHub. Okay, and download and download some code from there, and after download they will sorry, they will download and they will do something on it. Okay, so let me start in this way. Okay, let me start this way. Let's say I am a developer, I'm sitting in my laptop. Okay, I'll create one script and then I will upload in my GitHub. So here the role of Jenkins never come in play. This is the purely developer do in their IDE or maybe manual. Okay, so I think guys everybody might know GitHub. If you don't know, that's not big deal. Pretty simple thing. So just go to github.com, create the account there. If you don't have, okay, and after create the account, obviously log in. Okay, and after login, just create a folder there. Folder is like a repo. Inside the folder, put your code or copy your code, yeah, or maybe upload your code. So I'm going to create a new, there's a topic called new repository here. Okay, and let's say this is a Jenkins class repo I'm creating here. Just a folder name of repo name I'm creating here, and I initialize this repo so that I can start uploading a code. Okay, so anybody who by chance don't know GitHub, so that's the only thing you have to do. So otherwise there's nothing special. I create. Okay, after this they give you options to upload the file. So you can upload the file or you can create the file. Let me directly create my script directly here, or code, maybe PHP, Python, whatever language you want to create. So let me create a file directly here. Or let's say my file name is uh, my test.ss. Why I'm giving ss again, not but a special reason for this, but because my plan is to create a shell script. Okay, so normally extension normally we give is .ss or for java.java or xyz. Okay, and right now I'm going to create a script, pretty straightforward script. A script will do some print and say this is test data. Echo is a command in script to print something. Maybe in the script you can put the date command, you can put the cal command, whatever you want to put, and finally say echo by. So all the things that you might know a script you can put, but this is the very simplest script we have. Okay, and let me save my file or my script or my code finally. So now developer job is done. And developer job is done. They create a code and they upload or push the code here, either with the command line or maybe directly they put here whatever their choice would be. Okay, so developer job is done. Now the job of Jenkins guy come in play. Their duty is is to go to GitHub, go to GitHub and download the code from there. After download, they have to execute. So three steps they have to do, and for this they have to create the job. Okay, but obviously Jenkins guys should know where the code located. So my developer will tell this is the URL where my code located. And normally guys, this is the URL is this one. So when you click over here, this is the URL you have. You can copy, and if you can want to paste in Notepad just to check how your look like, this is the URL. So developer will give the URL of the Git to the Jenkins guys. Okay, it is one time providing. So in the future, because they keep on adding in the same URL, so just they give to us right now. Here the role of Jenkins guy come in play. Okay, so Jenkins guy will create a new job or new item. Same thing. I click on new item. Just give a, let's say, my job to for Git hub. Okay, click on freestyle project. Okay. Okay, now this time we have three requirement. Okay, one requirement is go to GitHub. For this, does Jenkins know how to go to GitHub? Answer yes, because we have installed GitHub plugin. Guys, because we have installed GitHub plugin, that is the reason. That is the reason. If you see in the space, there's option called source code management, SCM. SCM, GitHub is an example of SCM. If you click on the SCM, you can see this Git option come up. But if you don't install GitHub plugin, you won't see this option. Okay. So this option is only come because you install GitHub. But if you want to put something in CVS, SVN, or Mercurial, okay, Bitbucket, so respective plugins you have to install. Okay, so this option come because of the plugin. Click. Now here they're asking from which URL we have to download. Okay. So the URL my developer has already given to me, http://github.com. Let me type here manually because I can't copy paste right now there. In this URL, we have Vimal Linux World 13, and then Jenkins class repo, Jenkins class repo.k. That's all. Okay, so I will provide this URL to my Git tab. Okay, let me try to give a wrong spelling here. And let me click out somewhere. Click. Okay, the good thing about this page is, okay, whatever that URL you type, get behind the scene, go to this URL and try to check does this URL is available or not. Second, they check this URL is public or not. Okay, because guys, right chance I when I create this URL, that time I make this URL or this repo public. I clicked there. So while creating, I clicked on public. But if you make a real private, you have to provide a login and password. Okay, and that's what they're talking about. Okay, so because it's public, you don't have to provide. But why they give the wrong? Because I given the wrong spelling here. If I give the right spelling or right path, if I click out somewhere, they somehow find out this URL available is public. Now I have a capability to download. Okay, that's what you can do here. By chance anybody know a little about GitHub or all those things? So you guys might know a concept called branches. Okay, so we can create multiple branches. By chance we are in the master branch, but if you want to download from other branch, so they have the options here. So if you go to advanced, okay, and here guys they're talking about which branch you want to download. Okay, so by default they always pick for master branch. Anybody know about branches, you can go and select from here. Okay, so I don't have to select right now. Just you to just give your repository from where you have to download. Okay, so this part we have done. We asked the Jenkins go to GitHub, download something from here. Okay, when they download, when you run the job. Okay, so let's till here save it. You have to do some more thing here, but we can, guys, this is the first step we have done. So you can save any point in time and you can run any point in time. Okay, now guys, you will see some difference here. Okay, we don't have any build history because this job we haven't done. And if you go to in workspace, you won't see anything. There's no workspace even. This means this folder behind the scene is not created for this job. Okay, but you know what happened? This is the job that will behind this and go to GitHub and download your code. And code is a file, and for code and file, it's a document, we need some space. And now for this job, guys, they will create a workspace for us. Okay, what I mean by this, so let me go and guys build now. Now behind this, guys, if you see it's blinking, and something is going on. Because right now my system go to GitHub, download the entire repo there, and this blue, it means they are successful. Even though very quickly, it's good practice to go to console log, and we can see they do lots of things. Technically, they go here, and finally is successful. Means they properly download what exactly we are looking for. Okay, and anybody who know about git command, so they are doing they are running commands for you. Okay, so you can think in this way. If I ask you as a admin guys and say ask you to go to GitHub and download something for you, so you should know some git clone command, fetch command, push command, pull command, right? So Jenkins say you don't require to know the commands. Okay, I will do for you. I know the command by the plugins. I will do everything for you. Okay, same thing if you ask Jenkins to do some Kubernetes or Dockers, so they also have plugins, so they say you don't have to know about their commands. You just tell me from my web UI, I will do for you. I will run the command behind the scene. So that is the meaning of plugin here. Plugin means we are giving some extra knowledge to Jenkins for their respective commands. Okay. So that's what they're doing. So this till here is done. Okay, and if you go to projects, and now this time I'll see what you will see. If you go in the workspace, you can see this workspace created. Workspace is like folder created, and whatever I had in my Git, it will download. There was two files there, right? This both the files has downloaded in my Jenkins workspace. If you want to view here, click. This is the actual data I put in my code. It comes here. Okay, but why you download it? Maybe your requirement maybe to download. Okay, but here I would like to download so that I can execute. So you want to execute. But understand one thing, guys. If you want to execute, you always execute a program. And by chance here, the program name is my test.ss. And I want my job will execute this. So for this, just go and configure something in your job. Okay. And because this is a script, right? And if you want to run the script, you have to go down. Okay. And there's also again option called build. And here the again option called cell, because this is cell script. And by chance, guys, my Jenkins is running on the top of Linux. So in the Linux, we run cell. But if you Jenkins running on the top of Windows, then you can execute Windows batch. So this guys will give you capability to run Windows command. Only condition is Jenkins should run on the top of Windows. Okay. So let me execute shell. And here, guys, my plan is not to run the read command, cal command here, right? My plan is simple. We have a code downloaded from here. I want to run the script. And guys, if you know anything about Linux, if you want to run any script, by the script name is my test.sh, we have to use a command called bash. So bash is one command in Linux. Through this, we can run the script. Okay. But understand one thing, I'm just giving my script name. Okay. Why? My script is already downloaded with this file name. So technically, I'm just giving my file name. What a file name is downloaded in my workspace that I showed you. Okay, so you can think it is a path you are giving is a relative path, or maybe you can write dot slash also. Dot means wherever you are right now, and right now, guys, whenever you create a job, you by default you always would be in your workspace. Means you're telling that you are currently in your workspace, and in your workspace you will have this file. So either you can write dot slash means in the current folder, or you can write also like this, you are in the current folder. Okay, and let me see. But lots of things you can do, post actions and multiple links, job to job links. Almost all the options that you are seeing here, and a lot of options is not visible here because options come from plugins. More and more plugins store, more and more options come up. So as we go forward, we'll see tons of things here. This is just a first class. I just want to make you comfortable with this topic. Okay, and click on build now. That's all. Okay, now again this time, when you click on build now, again they go to GitHub, download the code. Okay, because this is a part of our process, and they run it. There's no fail. But now this time, if you see in console output, they download that was successful. But after download, guys, they run this script, and they run this script, they print echo, they run the read command, they run the cal command, they run the buy. Done. So whatever we ask them to do, they have done for us. Okay. Now one more interesting thing I want to show you here is maybe this point in time, my developer sitting in their laptop, they again go and edit this code and say this is the second code. Sorry, let me edit. Okay, and they edit this code, second change. Right, something they edit there. After edit, my developer again save. So developer is doing their thing, their laptop, their account, right? but but whenever anybody from Jenkins want to run this, they run it, and my job always go to GitHub. And guys, this time this year, if you see the difference, last time when I ran second one, it was very quick. But the third time it was doing something, you know. So what I mean by this, let me explain you in a minute. Okay, console output, and you see guys, they download the code, and this time they download run the new code. Means they can detect new code is there. And after they detect new code, then they download and run it. But if I run my job again one more time, okay, if I run my job again one more time, let's see here, this time very quick, fourth one. Okay, it doesn't mean they skip anything. If you go and check, they run everything, right? But they are very quick, because this is again beauty of Jenkins with the GitHub plugin. So whenever you run any job and they have a Git uh, plugins we have, they always check whatever you had in your GitHub code and the file or any of the document you have. Okay, so whatever you have and whatever you had, do you have any change? Okay, so if you don't have any change, they don't download again. And if you don't download, obviously it will save your time. So this extra intelligent by chance come in Git uh, hub plugins. So that's extra benefit you get. But the third chance, they find some difference in the code. Okay, they're fetching something, they find some changes, and some, if you see some difference, you see here something they pointing out. So so then they download, and then according they run it for you. Okay, so the extra thing, it's not again the power of Jenkins. Actually, it's come from GitHub plugins. So that's what you are getting here. Okay, and this is one thing. Now, one more small thing I just want to tell you here is this topic I will explain you in more in detail. But here, guys, you know what you have to do as Jenkins engineer? You have to keep on going. Okay, you keep on going to GitHub, right? By clicking build now, build now, build now. But if you want to make this process automate, I don't want to again and again click on build now, build now. They automatically go to GitHub and automate download and automatically run for me. Okay, so so that's what I want to do here. But it's a long topic, because there's a lot of different kind of implementation you can do here. This is called triggers. Okay, so we can set up the trigger. I want to take this topic tomorrow. Topic is very simple, but there are a lot of different kind of triggers. Okay, it's called build triggers. Okay, so I would like to complete touch all the triggers, which is a very interesting trigger. Okay, or this also. So tomorrow I'll take this topic. We'll cover all these triggers. Very interesting. It will automate lots of things for you. Okay, but right now I just want to close this topic by concluding this part: how to install Jenkins. So there's a new system I have installed for you. And very quickly, let me take this topic. But today, guys, the first day, I want you guys to comfortable with Jenkins and some of the terminology. Okay, but right now I'm just covering last one small topic that's called how to install. Okay, so the new system, first you have to download this two software if you are if you're having uh, uh, Red Hat. But if you want to use other OS, so very simple, just search Jenkins download. So there's a one site called jenkins.io. There's the official site of Jenkins. There's an option called download. Okay, so Jenkins keep on coming with new release. It's called regular release. Every week they come. Okay, but they're not stable actually. There might be some bug come up. Okay, but they have some release that is stable. It's called long-term support. They are tested, proven. Almost all the bugs has been fixed. So, but depend which version you want to download. I suggest go for stable release. Okay, And here the guys, they are the link to download. So you want to download directly for Java file. I'll show you in the future classes, Ubuntu, Red Hat, Windows, Mac, or which OS you want to download. Okay. So let's say if you want to install for download for Red Hat. Okay. So anybody who know Red Hat, normally in the Red Hat, we can install software with Yum also. So they give you some command, it configure Yum, and you can install with Yum command also if you want. Okay. But right now I'm just using very simple approach. I already given the software in our Google Drive. So I'm downloading from there and manually copying here and then install. Okay, so whatever method you want to use, that would be your choice. Okay, but finally, wherever install, whatever method you use, the final look and feel of Jenkins would be the same. Okay, and anybody who by chance using Red Hat first time, so whenever guys install Red Hat first time, they ask you to create a new account. Right now I create a Vimal account, and they will log in you to a new account that's called Vimal account that I created here. But Vimal don't have so much power. So I suggest after this log out from here, and for some days till the time you become comfortable with Linux, always log in with the root account, and the root account name here is called admin account name is called root account. Okay, just click on not listed, account name is root, and password whatever you set at the time of installation. Okay, so the new system, this system by default don't have any Java. Okay, so there's a lot of Java available in the market. Even though these guys recommend to use open Java. Okay, open JDK Java, they don't recommend much about Oracle Java, but I've tested Oracle Java version 8, version 11 working good. So right now the Java or JDK that I provided to you is Oracle Java, so there's no challenge as such come. Okay, so let me quickly install uh, Java first, then we install JDK. Okay, so for the I just require some internet connectivity. I don't know, some issue in my network might lead me. Yeah, it's connected. Okay, so first of all guys, this is the IP of my computer. This is my network card ENP0S3. Okay, and what I'm doing, I have a software already downloaded in my Windows laptop. So for Windows to Linux, I'm transferring. You guys might know SCP, WinSCP tool. It is free tool you can download in your Windows, and from Windows you can transfer software to Linux, or maybe some other way also we have, but let me use WinSCP. So IP is 100, then 9. I know guys, I'm talking every step here, small maybe, because a lot of guys may be new in this world, so I don't want they stuck somewhere. Okay, so I have already downloaded this software. Okay, so let me drag and drop. So this is JDK. I provide exactly same version you have. Okay, and so I have transferred, and this exact same Jenkins I have transferred to you in my Google Drive. So it's transferred. Okay, so from my Windows I transfer to Linux, and this is the Linux screen. So if you do ls, you can find these two software come up. First you have to install JDK. If you install Jenkins, it won't work. And this is the command lines guys in the Linux to install the software. Okay, and I highly suggest guys, after install JDK, just confirm that this software is installed or not. And how to confirm? JDK software will give you Java command, and with Java command you can confirm the software installed or not. Okay, there might possibility your system might have some older Java. If you install one more Java, the older Java won't update. So this command will help you to confirm which version is running right now. So in my case guys, is hotspot means Oracle Java of this version. This is what exactly I installed. Okay, so Java is successfully installed in my OS, and now finally you have to install Jenkins. So again rpm-ivh je, just press tab, auto complete, and Jenkins. So simple guys, nothing very complex. So Jenkins also installed in your system. You can verify with this command if you want. The Jenkins installed. And again, from here we have started today's class. So now you have to start your Jenkins program. And after start, you have to you have to configure it. How? Let me show you. So just to confirm with the same command I show you today, with Java search, your 8080 port running. Okay, and you can open in the browser and configure. Okay, so again, I'm using Firefox to open this guy. But how to configure? There's one step you should know. Okay, and this is the first time we are launching the Jenkins. Okay, and whenever launching the first time Jenkins in the web UI, they ask you configure something for you. Okay, they ask you set up admin password for you. Okay, and some plugins for you. So how to do? Let me explain. Okay, so right now my IP of my system is where I install Jenkins is 109. So 192.168, 109, and they work on port number 8080. Okay, now this first time we are connecting Jenkins after install. So they ask you login. Obviously, guys, we don't have a password how to log in. So guys, behind the scene, they generate some random password or initial password, and they save the password temporary for first login in this file. Copy the file name, go to command line, use the cat command or vi command, whatever you know, open this file, and here you can get the password. Okay, this is one time password for first one time login. Okay, and save here. Okay, so it will help you to log in. Okay, by chance, this is the latest version of Java. Sorry, Jenkins version 2 or something. So they have login. Okay, and now this time they're asking you, do you want to install any plugin? So if you click here, mostly very commonly used plugins that we always use, they auto install for you. If you select this, they will give you a list all the important plugins, then you can select and install for you. Okay, but right now I don't want to install in any other way, otherwise they will go to internet download, you have to wait for some time. So I'm skipping this part. You can also skip, because my plan is the as per requirement, as the need require, we keep on installing the plugin the way I show you GitHub. Okay. So in the top we have a cross screen, we can cross it, and technically by the cross it means we skip all the options, even though we skip password admin setup also, but we can do afterwards. Also. Okay, and click on start Jenkins. Guys, because we skip everything, means we skip admin password setup also. Just be in mind. Okay, don't log out from here because we don't have the password, otherwise we're stuck. But the first page come up, this is from where we started today. Okay, so don't forget to set the admin password. How? Again, go to manage Jenkins. And here we can create a new user or change the password. So we go down, there's option called manage users. Okay, and here we have admin account by default created for us. Click, and if you go down, we have password option. So just set your password whatever you want to set. Okay, and apply. Because password change actually, so behind the scene they automatically uh, log out, and not log out, yeah, automatically they say you are not authorized. Because password change. So just again remove this URL, again refresh, give your password, login name admin, again login. Okay, so that's all, guys. This is the way you can install this. There's one or two commands, but one more small thing I want to tell you. If you create a job, okay, let's say job one, freestyle, and this time because this is a new Jenkins, we have installed any plugins, so there will be no SS options come up. Very limited options come up. There's a by default options, but if you go source control more management, there's no option for Git. Right, so for this you have to install the plugins. I show you, but very quickly let me show you. So same system we're going to use tomorrow. So click on manage Jenkins, plugins option we have. Now I can go to available. In available I will search for GitHub. You require internet connectivity for this. Now this plugin come up. Click here and use install without install. Okay, and guys, lot of plugins depend on other plugins, so GitHub depends on other plugins also. So when you install this plugin, lots more other plugins also install for you. See here, lots of plugins behind the scene they install for you. Okay, because one plugin might depend on other plugins. So they download all the plugins, they install all the plugins, and in the last you can click on restart. This means after all the plugins installed, then restart Jenkins, and after restart, your plugins start working for you. That's all, guys. So that's all, guys, for today's class. A very generic class to give some vocabulary, some of the basic job we created. But from tomorrow onwards, we start doing something interesting, practicals, and after 4 or 5 days, you guys become uh, start discussing some of the great use cases, and you guys come to know what the power of plugins. Okay, so that's all. Any questions, any queries, if you have, you guys can ask. Can we download Jenkins with Yum? Yes, Kartat, you can download, but for this you have to configure Yum, and this is the commands they give you to configure Yum if you want. Okay. So one minute. Can we run Python? Yes, guys, any script, Python, Ruby, Java, whatever you want to run, everything, whatever you have done in till date in the technological world, uh, uh, you can do here. Okay. What is different with GitLab and GitHub? I think Anand, my upcoming classes, okay, when you start mm, seeing some pipelines in Jenkins, then you can relate GitLab there. Okay, something like this, GitLab will do for you. GitHub is only for code management, right? Okay, but if you want to do some kind of automation, that what Jenkins is doing, GitLab gonna help you. Yes, Rahul will see something about Maven. We have some Maven practicals, so yes, we will see about Mavens. So guys, I'm trying to pick some questions here because I'm seeing the repeat. What is job? I think Bhavesh, we discussed there. We have machine learning plugins. Yes, Bhargav, we have lots of machine learning, deep learning, and machine learning respective platform plugins available in the Jenkins. A very great question, Subham. You asked me why Jenkins use blue color. Normally, guys, for success, we always use green color. And there's actually some story actually behind the scene. Okay, so when you run the job, okay, and if the job was successful or job is successful, they use a blue color. Okay, so guy who create who create the Jenkins, especially in the code development team, they use some region. They also share with us. The region is okay. The green color is about color, right? About green and blue. Okay, they say if you put the green color and gray color together, they look very similar. Okay, the motto behind that color is to have the attention from the eye that this job failed, successful is going on. Okay, so if you put a green color or the gray color, okay, they look very similar in the system, so your eyes don't able to properly catch what is going on. Okay, so that was the reason. Actually, there's a pure explanation. They give you exactly same way. So they given us the change the color for successful blue color. But for somebody, they might don't like blue color. They want to go for green color. Here guys called ball. So especially for this, they have extra plugin. If you search for plugin called plugin called Green Ball. Okay, if you search for this plugin, if they're available now, right? So you can install this plugin called Green Ball. Okay, green is better than blue. So for color blindness support, right? So there's a pure theory for this. So if you click here, okay, install. Now, if you do so, your all the blue color now from onward, blue balls will change to green. Okay, so that's what guys actually theory behind this. So this is the guys reason I really appreciate, right? They think at least at that level. Okay, where the workspace created in the OS, there's a folder called I use where lib Jenkins. In that folder internally they create the workspace. What is RPM yum difference? This as the same command yum behind the scene use RPM only, but yum is a better way to manage the software in Red Hat. Yes, Sakshi, you can use Jenkins in Windows also. Just install the Java for Windows, and installation of Jenkins in Windows is so simple. So if you go to that page, they say you how to install Jenkins on the top of Windows. Vishal, maybe in my upcoming class, very high level, I talked or told you already what is CI/CD in my first class, but actually, what exactly CI/CD and difference in my upcoming class we'll discuss. Okay. Yes, Jenkins guys mostly managed from GUI only. It is very common dashboard you always see. But nowadays, very great projects is slowly moving to pipelines code. So you should have a good knowledge of pipeline also. My system of old Java. I think Dhruv, mostly most Java support Jenkins, right? Very mature tool. Just try to run Java, Jenkins on the top of this. If it works, okay. Otherwise, you can upgrade. Yes, Sitish, you can launch Jenkins on the cloud VM. Right? You can install anywhere, wherever you are comfortable on. Can you explain again once more time to set the password? Pretty straightforward, guys. Nothing special. Just go to dashboard. Okay, and after go to dashboard, go to manage, and the manage you have a users. Okay, so just let this thing come up. Now, guys, here it's now changed to green color, right? So go to manage. So here we have options called users, and there's just go and change the password, right? There's an icon here. You can go and change. Yes, Narasimha, if you want to download the plugin, you need internet connections. But if you want to use Jenkins without a plugin, you don't want to download, there's no internet connection we need. Yes, always you have IAM concept in Jenkins, right? We can create multiple users with multiple power and privileges we can provide. So Jenkins also have IAM concept, even though you can integrate SSO, uh, you can integrate with LDAP, all the things you can also do. Or REST API, about REST API, if you are I'm a part of my Python classes in Rise, when we are right now discussing Flask, so we are going to discuss in very detail about REST API in my Flask train. Okay. Difference between Jenkins OpenShift, I think Subhasi, you're doing both. Automatically you come to know in some classes the difference. So right. with some upcoming practicals, you will see automatically the difference. uh, it is asking the Git execution path. Mukul, yes, we will see about Git execution path when we run the Git plugins locally. What I mean by this, I will discuss further. Right now, we don't require. Execute different job and plugin. When you tell the Jenkins do this thing first, then this thing second, then this thing third. Okay, step by steps thing you do. That is called job. Okay, and we as a user we create a job. Plugin means Jenkins say you ask me to contact to Kubernetes, you ask me to contact to Jenkins, so get I don't know how to go there. So to train Jenkins that or to tell Jenkins how to go there, for this we have to give plugins to the Jenkins. Okay, so if Jenkins don't have plugin for AWS cloud, then Jenkins won't able to go there. Okay, so job we create, plugin Jenkins used to connect or integrate to that technologies. Summer training is not offline. I actually heard I wanted because I always love to have summer program offline. We always create at the do at the grade level, but for the safety of everyone, we can't do offline. And this is the first time we are doing online. Yes, Muhammad, you can use Windows Chrome also because Jenkins give you URL. You can use the URL of Jenkins. You can open that URL in your mobile phone also, Windows Chrome also. You can anywhere you can use. So, guys, do the installation. Any issues come up, just connect in your Slack channel. A lot of technical volunteers we have. They will definitely help you. Do you have bootcamp for DO1? Yes, Buddhi Prakash, we will do bootcamp for DO180 exam. So I believe I believe guys most of the questions I've touched and whatever you are guys asking extra somewhere in some of my upcoming class it gonna to be to be complete, right? Thank you guys. See you tomorrow, same timing, and we'll see some more new concept. Bye. Take care. Bye. Take care, guys. See you.